So, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Simulation Section YouTube channel. It's me and more central, that Yorkshire person that travels around on buses. And today we're in the virtual world of OMSI 2 once again, where you join me once again in the incredibly exciting the Adsto Project Beta 7. I have watched the Adsto project grow. It has been an absolute honour to watch it grow from the initial days of us sharing the screenshots on Talking Buses to being able to drive the 7th beta test variation with lots more routes, more brands, so much character, so much detail, so much love and care that has gone into this map. I cannot emphasise to you all enough just how much work has gone into this map to make it what it is today. If you haven't already, please do go and check out my other two videos on the Beta 7. The previous one where we took a Stagecoach MMC with a faulty destination blind on the 663 school run, and the one previous to that where we did our first introduction to this brand, the Beryllium Bus Company, that is the new company on the Adsto project, and we took one of these lovely buses on the road replacement service, having a look at the brand new part of the map. There is a couple of incredibly detailed villages, really nice roads, and just beautiful map. Just as I say, I cannot emphasize how much I absolutely love driving this map. So you join me for the first time with a big reveal in the new Adsto bus station. So, if we turn the camera around, we'll have a little look at this bus station. It has changed somewhat from the previous variation. I really like this updated version of the bus station because I felt that although it was incredibly cool having it in the middle of a roundabout area, and that is the kind of thing that they would have done back in the day, a council would have gone, yeah, we'll build it here because it's central. I felt it really did limit the possibilities with the map. And having it built here gives you the opportunity to have more stands. It gives a more clear-cut sort of layover area, and just gives more opportunity to have buses coming in and out of the bus station, just more space to work with. It also fits in incredibly nicely with the car park, as you can see here, and the seafront as well. That has had quite a lot of work done to it. A brand new promenade's been added, as you can see, new boats, and sort of a rock front and beach huts and bits like that. All of it adding together, creating an incredibly nice atmosphere. So in this video we are going to be taking this vehicle, the Beryllium Veiling B7 Hourly, Volvo B7 Hourly Eclipse 2, on the number 4 service that Beryllium operate on the map. Now there is the 4 and the 4A, I believe they are both circulars, so we're going to do the number 4 in this video. Lovely, again, just to note the lovely destination blinds that have been set up for the Beryllium operation. I incredibly like the fact that it has the Newlands bit in bold. That is something that good bus companies do to sort of emphasise that that is a location. I incredibly like that attention to detail. And the livery itself, once again, just looking absolutely sublime. If we look at the interior again, like I mentioned in the initial video on the Adsto project, I don't want to zoom in that much. The maquette is that sort of like really funky but cheap maquette that is available that you always see online. It's the kind of maquette that a company would use, like a sort of a semi-large independent would use to retrim their fleet, obviously wanting to get rid of whatever previous operator maquette was on it and make it look smart. It looks incredibly smart, and it really does give off that independent bus operator vibe. So, got enough air in it, that'll do. So we'll get the ticket machine logged in. There we go, that's all good, and we leave literally in a couple of seconds from stand number 6. So let's get the arrows on, because unfortunately I do not know the map well enough yet, and let's make a move round to stand number 6. I think everybody's out enjoying the sunny weather. There we go, because there's no one here. Yeah, they must all be out enjoying the sunny weather. I can't say I blame them. There's a couple of people. None of them are bothered about this. Everybody's just enjoying the nice sun. For the record as well, this is actually the second day of the year where it has actually been properly sunny. I have vowed to myself that I'm not going to spend that much time in front of the computer doing bits today. I did want to get this filmed, but I have vouched for myself that I am actually going to go outside and enjoy it, because it is incredibly rare that a nice sunny day marries up with a day off. So although I do have an absolute ton of stuff to do, I am going to be heading out at some point. So a reminder, as I say every single video, I know you're probably getting bored of it by now, but I do have to say it. This is a work in progress map. This map is someone's personal project. It's not released yet. There is no release date attached. It is very much when the incredibly talented developer decides that this map is going to be ready for release, it will get released. They will release it. Until then, it is still a work in progress. I'll be able to show you all the different routes that are available on the map at the moment. I believe it's about 10 bus routes. So I will be, during the course of the next few videos, showcasing all of them to you. You may notice that parts of the map aren't finished. You may notice that bits of it aren't finalised. You may notice bits that you look at and you go, oh, well, that doesn't look quite right. Or you may notice bits where AI traffic has decided to go off on one and do its own thing. That is because this is a work in progress map. It is still a beta map. It is still in beta testing. We'll get a quick screenshot. We'll keep going. Just like scenery. So just bear that in mind when you're watching it. The reason that it is still in beta testing is because we are still testing it by recording these videos. We are finding bugs and bits like that. So yeah, you may see things. I'm not going to comment on them because, again, this is a work in progress map. It's not a final release. So there are bits that you may see and you may go, oh, there, yeah, that's not quite right. That is because it is a work in progress. Things will get sorted, bugs will get fixed, and it ensures that this map is as perfect as it physically can be for when it does get released. Again, with that, this is genuinely someone has put years and years and years and years and years of work into this. I mean, I remember when the Adsto project first appeared about 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, I remember it. So I know how much love and care and time and effort has gone into this map. So believe me, when this is released, it will be perfect. It will be absolutely perfect. What I do really, really like about this map, alongside all the other stuff I've said in the other videos, is the complexity of the detail. The hills, the gradients, the inclines, the variety between the sort of town and city vibe versus the village vibes versus the rural vibes, and the fact that although services do sort of mildly interconnect with each other, there is also so much great variety within the network. We've had some maps in the past where they focus on one key corridor and you'll have like 2 or 3 bus services that follow the majority of the same key corridor and then slightly split off. This map is entirely different. This map is like, you can travel to the south part, the north part, the east part, the west part. Everything is all over the place, but there's still a really strategic way that things have been clicked in together and linked in together and matched up, and the fact that we have a few different operators as well. It's all just like incredibly well thought through. Really, really is well thought through. See if we can get ours to light in. Not the best. The only negative of driving with the sun as fully bright is you do have to make sure the sun is perfectly pointing at the bus to get a good screenshot. So the 2 operators on the map at the moment are Stagecoach Southwest that you saw in the previous video, Stagecoach Devon, and Beryllium. Now Beryllium, I believe, has temporarily replaced First. I'm hoping that Beryllium sticks about because I do really, really like this livery. I have seen the E400 MMC livery as well. I haven't done a video with that yet. I might do in the future. I haven't quite decided, if I'm entirely honest, but we shall see. Let's get, there we go, let's get this. Let's see, I'm trying to get the right angle. For those of you that have missed the last few videos, my good friend IMEX recommended me the OMSI 2 presentation tools after the West Country video to get the perfect zoomed in screenshots. I have since installed this and it has become my best friend. Like dangerously become my best friend. So it just means that, unfortunately, I take a little bit more attention to detail when we take the screenshots now. That I hope is a positive. I hope is a positive. It just means that there's a couple more opportunities to take screenshots, and again, this Brazilian livery looks really, really nice. It has been, as I say, it has been done for a few different vehicles that you can use in OMSI 2 for like Brilliant for Adsto, so you can drive it with a few different vehicles. I've just really liked driving the veiling pack, and it has been so long since I've properly had an excuse to drive it, and I think the livery suits this bus really, really well, so that's why I'm using it again. And it is also just a really nice bus to drive. If you haven't already, do go and get the veiling pack. I'm not sponsored by them. I just think it's a really, really nice vehicle pack. It sort of complements nicely to the likes of the Blueprint B9 and B7 with sort of similar dashboard layout and similar rear vehicle. And then also really nicely contrasts with the Studio Polygon street light. Because you've sort of got that like modern era transition as well. We are so lucky in OMSI 2 to have so many different vehicles. Now, yes, quite a few of them are payware vehicles, but when you drive buses like this, you do very, very quickly understand why. It's the same when I'm driving the 400 MMC like I drove in the previous video, and when I'm driving the Renown, and when I'm driving the Streetlight, when I'm driving the Geminis. You can tell with the attention to detail that why they are paywares. I mean, don't get me wrong, we had an OMSI 2 era where we had the likes of Project Gladbeck being sold, and it was a partially unfinished map. For those of you that remember that, I still remember IMX's video on that. It was one of the best bits of OMSI 2 related entertainment I've ever watched, by a mile. Very, very much was. But we are in an era now where we've got amazing maps, amazing buses, and yeah, you might have to pay a little bit, but I think paying a little bit for the detail that you get in vehicles like this nowadays is entirely worth it. I also absolutely love with Adsto that we've still got the roadwork sections. They were always so funky last time, having sort of the bits where entire junctions are shut and been rebuilt. As someone that spent the last week travelling around the south of England, doing various bits of driving and non-driving activities, I can fully relate to this, where for some reason entire junctions are just shut off and like they're constructing. I mean, I was in Fareham, down in the Solent, and we left Fareham on the bus route up to Winchester. It's going to be featuring in an More Central video very soon. In I think it's a couple of months is that video coming out, because I've rescheduled some bits because I'm doing some bits off camera where I can still drive up to 2 and drive train sim and bits like that. I've still got time to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have as much time to travel out and about. I don't have as many days off to do that. So I've sort of gone out, and while I was away, I did a lot of recording. It made sense. It made sense to go out and do all the filming and bits like that. But yeah, we left Fareham on this route towards Winchester, although we didn't go all the way to Winchester. Oh, they're digging up the bus depot this time. Exciting. That's cool. I remember parts of this from the previous beta. It's nice to see bits that have been changed, bits that have been added, additional details here and there. I'm really digging this. But we left Fareham, as I was saying, and as soon as we left sort of like the town bit, it just turned into one big construction site for like 10 minutes. The roads were all over the place and convoluted, and there was like makeshift roundabouts made out of cones and bollards, and it was all just like, I looked and I was like, wow, it's all really, really random. And that's what it reminds me of. So when you see junctions like that, you may think, oh, well, my area doesn't get that much roadworks, in which case, where on earth is that? Like, how on earth is it replaced? But it doesn't have roadworks nowadays, but hey-ho. But if you do think, oh, well, my area doesn't have that, it's all like built and we don't have those issues, believe me, there are places in the country that, like, the entire road layout, structure, everything has been dug up, just like that junction back there. And I feel in 21st century Britain, it's very important to replicate that in OMSI 2. So, kudos to that, because the bumpy roads, the bumps in the roads, the fact that the roads aren't perfect, the fact that junctions aren't perfect, all so accurate, so accurate. So we're in North Point at the moment. Just making sure that, yeah, we are. Yeah, we're going the right way. So I'm just double checking after the previous video that took me 2 attempts to do because I did the score run the wrong way around. I genuinely started and followed the 663 starting point side instead of the 663 route arrow. I just went into autopilot, followed it, and I was like, oh, I've gone the wrong way. So just being extra careful this time now, extra careful. I think in the next video we're going to be looking at the 6. I know that that's a relatively recent route addition, so we'll have a look drive at that, I think. Although that's a stagecoach run, so because we did a stagecoach run in the previous video, I'm trying to rotate it between beryllium and stagecoach, so I'm trying to do a little bit of both, rather than sort of hammering it with one operator than the other. And there is also so many other maps and bits I still want to drive as well, so yes, we are having a bit of an Adsto takeover at the moment. I make no apologies for that. I like entirely an Adsto takeover is well overdue. So we're having an Adsto takeover at the moment. I haven't decided on the next map takeover, but there are a couple maps that I do actually want to revisit that I haven't driven for some time. So it'd be hopefully going back to revisit them at some point, getting a nice bit of variety in. Because I do forget just how many maps we actually have in OMSI 2 now for like the UK side. Like it's just in the past few years it has absolutely blown up with just how much we've got. And how many different operators you can drive for. I mean you can drive for First, you can drive for Stagecoach, Arriva, you can drive for some independents, you can drive for sort of really well thought through fictitious operators like this. And there's so much opportunity, and I think the vehicles are well complementing presumably the inspiration that we've all had in the OMSI world to develop stuff. I mean, as I say, I've got Humber buses on the back burner. Yes, it is still a thing, believe it or not. Whether it's something I work on to release, or whether it's just something I work on as a personal project on the side to get back into OMSI 2, I haven't quite decided yet. But yes, that is a thing. I've not forgotten about it. And hopefully when I've got a little bit more time in front of the computer, it's going to be something I work on a little bit more. Very famous last words from me, stuff like that, for people that know me quite well. However, it is very much hope that I'm going to have the time to sort of crack on and do various bits. Hopefully. As I say, I need to put some plans together for that map, put some bits forward. Unfortunately, again, it's not going to be for the next few weeks. Even after this video is released, it's not going to be for the next few weeks, as I am stupidly busy. Thus, again, why I'm sort of recording all my Adsto stuff in a sort of group. I'm doing a group filming of Adsto because why not? So I'm doing all the videos pretty much at once for Adsto. And I need to do some training videos as well. So there is going to be, again, a few weeks where I'm not there. My apologies for those of you that do watch on this channel and do watch on Animal Central and have noticed that I've not been there as much lately. For that, I do apologise. Life's just been really busy at the moment. I've just been up to so much stuff. A lot of it's unrelated, very much unrelated to the bus world. I've got a few personal projects and bits I'm doing. A few bits that I had started as well last year, and sort of I'm returning to. Can we try and get a nice screenshot of this? That'll do. I'm not 100% impressed. I think I'm just going to end up using the screenshot to the bus station. To be honest, that really does convey it across. And I also really liked it because the lighting was perfect when I spawned into the bus station, which was pretty neat, I'm going to be honest. It didn't see anything in it, everybody. You didn't see anything. Nothing. You didn't see. Oh, you didn't see anything. The car just decided to stop, and I wasn't willing to wait. Ooh, it's like fire station training. Oh, cool. I like that. That's really well thought through. Like usually when you see a fire station, it might be the odd building, but we've got the canopy, we've got the adjacent buildings there. We sort of got like the training session bit here that they like have story, but like I-story building sort of there to replicate a multiple floor fire sort of thing. That's really cool. I really liked that. It does feel like a challenge taking a vehicle of this length on here. Like there's a few narrow bits which allude to me that it's probably intended for a slightly smaller vehicle. But it's cool. It's still cool that you can take sort of like long single deck on here, and there is those little bit of challenge that sort of hints to you that yeah, maybe it should have been a smaller bus. As is in real life when you get given a long single decker for a run that probably shouldn't have a long single decker on it. But yeah, as I say, my apologies, I've not been responding to comments as much recently. This is an example of a junction where we might have to curve it. There we go. There we go. And so yeah, I've not been responding to comments as much, and sort of videos seem a little bit more prep than usual. That is because I have had to prep for quite a lot of stuff for the next few months. To be quite honest, because I'm always honest on this channel, I am sort of having to move back from prioritising OMSI2 or not OMSI2, but the YouTube, sorry, sort of like having to stop prioritising the YouTube for a few months. I've got a few personal things that I've got to attend to, a few projects and bits that I'm doing off camera. So quite a lot that I am undertaking off camera and away from the YouTube and away from buses, believe it or not. It's a few bits I'm doing. That just means that I haven't got, unfortunately, as much time as I would like to usually have to devote to the YouTube stuff. The one positive of it is it means that I'm spending a lot of time with my computer, which means that I can do a lot more simulation section stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot more OMSI2 driving, train simulator driving and stuff like that. I'm just not going to have as much time to travel on all of my extravagant long trips and go away for bits and all the stuff I usually do that you see on the main and more central channel. So as I say, that's why there's a lot of prep going on at the moment. You will notice that a lot of the and more central videos, you may watch them and you go, oh well, he said he was there a few weeks ago, a few months ago, and bits like that, and the videos are coming out now, and that's because I have done a lot of filming recently to sort of cater for it. So there's no gap on videos on the channel, and please don't get me wrong, all of the videos on the channel are incredibly interesting. Like I'm not just recording videos for the sake of it. I have been travelling out and about, exploring different places, so the videos that you are going to be watching on that main channel, believe me, are still very exciting and still very interesting and still very sort of unique and got lots of character to them, as they always do when you watch sort of my channel. So there's all sorts of stuff coming up. Absolutely all sorts. Oh god, we're 10 minutes early, I didn't realise. I thought we were only like 6. Oops. Didn't realise we were that early, so let's just ping the time a little bit and we'll make a move. Oh, we're going around the back of a fuel station. Oh, I like this. This is cool. Oh, this is cool. This is new and it's cool. So yeah, there's a lot of pre-recorded sort of adventures that I've done recently. So I've been on a lot of adventures very recently. It's just how life's worked out. So I've filmed a lot of them. So it has helped out sort of prepping the bits. There's also a few more recent updates. I've got a few more scrapyard videos coming your way as well that I've filmed quite recently. I've also dug out some bits from the archive so you can look at some previous unseen photographs and footage that you will not have seen before. So I've dug them out of the archives. There's also a few. I've also pre-recorded a series of a day in the life of a bus driver, so you've got all of that to look forward to as well. I did a lot of filming of that over the past few weeks, so there's quite a lot of day in the life of a bus driver coming your way as well, and lots of other exciting stuff. So please do not worry. As I say, I might be a little bit more distant for the next few weeks. But unfortunately, because all of these channels and more bus videos, this one and more central, they're all just run by me. It is literally just me doing it all. Unfortunately, when other things do come along, I do have to devote a little bit of time to them and make sure I do them right, make sure they're all sorted. And I'm incredibly excited at the end of the next few months of what I'm doing to be able to tell you all what I was up to. That's going to be really exciting. But just like YouTubers do sometimes get up to secret projects that they're not allowed to disclose, I'm in that position as well. But I cannot wait in the next few months to disclose what I'm actually up to behind the scenes. As I say though, the positive is it does mean that this channel is going to be getting a lot of love, because in between the project that I am undertaking, again, I'm going to have a lot of time in front of the computer, so it means a lot more simulator stuff. That's why I've put a lot of work into this channel recently, so that it was all set up in time. I've also put a lot of investment into Train Simulator, a lot of investment into OMSI 2, just so I can sort of like jump in a bus and go, oh yeah, I want to drive on this and in this livery, and everything's set up there. And I've done a similar thing with Train Simulator where I can jump in a train and go, I want to drive this route, and I've already got the route and I can drive it, and it's going to be really cool. I am incredibly excited for it. It's going to be absolutely one heck of a few exciting months for this channel, so it's going to be cool. I am really liking these narrow junctions on this map. On this route, the narrow like housing estate junctions, like these sort of junctions that you get in real life to deter HGVs and things from serving these sort of areas, and they are providing a very nice challenge for the bus. I do really like the fact that this route is a circular. I think the fact that you can do it in this direction and then do it back in the other, I do really like that, that you can sort of explore it in that way. We will have to drive the 4A at some point in an upcoming video, so as I say, do look out for that. We will be back, and we will be having a drive of that at some point soon. This way. But there's just so many routes. This is what I absolutely love about this map, is there are so many routes. So much love and care has gone into the map. And it's just so varied as to what you can drive. Like, we've just done a sort of like the town city circular sort of thing, like the town bus. So like going through the housing estate, circling around there with the odd competing like 20 service. We've crisscrossed a few school bus routes as well. We've gone past the main school, so that's good. I assume we're going. Yes, we are. Yeah, okay. I got confused with that light. The traffic light confused me. It doesn't take much, but it confused me. There we go. Well, you can drive this sort of route. Then we did the route replacement that's all rural. Then we did the 663 that sort of like goes out to a couple of rural villages. Then you've got the 16A that goes to Castleton, so you've got that as well. We will have to have a drive of that, I think, very soon in the next few videos. I'm sort of saving that one because I do really like that route. I am a really big fan of it. Having driven it before, I did really enjoy it. So I'm sort of holding off on that a little bit, saving that one. I love how that guy just did a full loop round and got off at the same spot that he got on. Pet poos. still remember the OMSI 2 world when we didn't have this bus. And I always used to sort of like, when I was growing up with OMSI 2, I always used to dream of being like, oh, I'd love to drive a B7 Harley in here. As someone that grew up with B7 Harleys quite fondly, like they were just, in West Yorkshire, they were very much the staple diet of the allocations. So like we had B10 B Leaving Hounds, B7Ls, Olympians, and the sort of the B7 Harley Eclipses were probably the most boring thing there. That is weird. Like they were the most boring thing. Nowadays they're pretty much all gone. But they were the most boring allocations. That they were always just so fun. It was like the fact that they were the dullest that it got. That sort of, I think, put it into context as to how lucky I was with the vehicles that I had growing up. Put that in service on. So I always wanted one in OMSI 2. And don't get me wrong, we had a few sort of attempts at bits like that, and a few vehicles that you could sort of pretend would be 7 Harleys, but never the same. And I remember when this came out, I was so excited. I could not exchange my money over quick enough. Like, my money could not be handed over quick enough for this. I'm going to be honest, I didn't realise that the turn were going to be that abrupt. I was sort of busy looking at the signage for the 99. I also love how the stands are set up in the way that it's like actually leads people onto the vehicles. Like there's that sort of angle on the railings to give sort of that impression of. I also just love the bus station with sort of like the muck on the ground, the oil on the ground, stuff like that, and actual stuff that you would find in a bus station. Very, very much find in a bus station. The signage as well, like caution reversing vehicles, and the fact that it is so simplistic but also so complex and well thought through at the same time. I do really like the vibe that the bus station gives off. I really, really do. So, with that in mind, we have reached Adstow bus station. That was the number 4 service, the circular service around North Point, past Notre Dame School, and a few other bits and bobs, sort of more consolidating on top of the other 2 videos that we've done. On that note, do make sure you check out the other videos on the Adsto Project Beta 7. The first impressions one was the rail replacement trip that I really enjoyed from Hilton, I think it was. Hilton to Adsto Station. That was really cool. Then we've just done the 663, the school run with Stagecoach. And now, as I say, this is our first impression of the Adsto bus station properly and the local town service. That, as you can see, has been added to. It's now one complete circular. Really well thought through, lovely variety with it, lovely amount of challenges, bits where you're going into the supermarket, stuff like that. Really, really nice map. Now, again, it doesn't have a release date yet. This is someone's personal project. I like the amount of work and effort that's been put into this is just amazing. And believe me, when the author of this amazing map decides it's going to be released, it will be perfect. You can trust me on that one. With that all said and done, thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, then do be sure to click that like button, as that way more people can find the video and enjoy it just like you have. And if you haven't already, then do be sure to subscribe to my channel, the simulation section, for more content like this from OMSI 2, from the Adsto project. There's more videos from the Adsto project coming your way very soon, as we have a mini Adsto project takeover on the OMSI 2 side, as well as my regular videos from Train Simulator, where we drive trains. That's always exciting. If you haven't already as well, go and check out my main channel and more central. The link is in the description below. And for all my real life bus adventures, my real life bus explorations, my day in the life of a bus driver where I drive actual real life buses, and Project Bus where you see me restore my own real life buses as well. Yes, life's very bus filled at the moment. Once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for your continued support towards the channel, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one I make. Bye for now. Bye.